Okay, hi guys, my name is Patrick, but you can call me 26. And what you're going to do today is we are going to figure out how we can generate predictable results in foundation models using Generable and Guide, right? So in a previous video, I showed you how to generate just random bits of text that sort of make sense. Like we created a story about a curious cat. And for some reason, every single time we did come up with a cat called most of the time we came up with a cat called Whiskers, and he lived in city called Willows or something of the sort, right? Even when you switched, you made the LLM speak in pirate, like a pirate, the cat was still had a name which was derivative of Whiskers, right? So what you're going to do is we are going to, instead of just generating random text, we're going to see how we can generate structured text, right? So let's do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to build a game, and the game is going to be essentially, we're going to ask the foundation model to generate for us a series of questions and then answer them. The question is going to be to give us various capitals of various countries in the world, right? That's what it's going to do. And then after it does that, what we'd want to do is, okay, let's just do that. What we want to do is we're going to select the correct answer among the options, right? So we're just going to ask it to generate a country and its capital. And then after it does that, the next thing we're going to do is generate other options which are not the correct one, and the user is supposed to select the correct one, and then it's going to tell you whether or not you're correct, right? So that's going to be our simple quiz game. Okay, let us see this in action, right? So let's run this, and the canvas for some reason is crashing. I don't know why that is, but let's generate our question, right? So both of them are generating questions, and this one is both of them for some reason. In most cases, it starts with Japan. Japan is the most common start, right? So it asks us, what is the capital city of Japan? And without us telling it, it gives us 4 options, all in Japan: Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Nagoya, right? So for some reason, it sort of geographically clusters them, and we're going to see exactly how we do that, right? And here we can select the country. We could select, for example, Tokyo, and it's going to tell us if that's the correct answer, or if it's not the correct answer, it's going to show us that, right? So for the most part, it has been correct. There have been a few times I've run it where I have seen instances where it doesn't give me the correct answer, or rather it gives me options and then forgets to give me the correct answer among the options, right? So it's not absolutely perfect, but you could use it to generate structured data that is important. This is a bit difficult because I'm asking it to remember the country and the actual capital when you're giving it, and you're giving them in separate answers, right? So, and then putting it in an array and so on, right? So this is a bit difficult, but if you wanted a structured, like for them to create users like with a certain age or name or a certain pattern, it's very good, right? So this is just to show you that you can make the foundation models give you patterns, right? Particular patterns, right? So here it's Tokyo. Let's go to the next question, and the next question is going to be what is the capital of Brazil, right? So the answer is Brasilia. Previously, it did give me this question, but it forgot to include Brasilia as among the options, right? So now it has included it. We say Brasilia. The correct answer is Brasilia. We go to the next one and the third one, and then we can start. I can show you how we do it. Now, the capital of Australia, I believe, is Melbourne. Sydney is the commercial capital, right? So is it Adelaide? I think it's Melbourne, right? Canberra. See exactly what I was talking about. The capital is Canberra, but Canberra wasn't among the options that was given, right? So basically, it is correct, let's say 99% of the time, right? When it comes to the structured data. So it does know the correct answer, but it forgets to give you among the options, right? So let's have a look at how we can build something like this. Okay, so let's get to it, right? Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to, of course, import foundation models, which is going to be the main thing we're going to do. It's going to be foundation. Let's just hit escape. Foundation models, like so. And then we're going to use the @generable macro. Generable. And generable macro, what it does is that it automatically gets whatever is created by the foundation models is passed directly into a Swift struct, right? So when you do this, whatever the output of the foundation models is turned into the particular struct. In our question, in our example, our struct is going to be called the question, like so. And then we're going to have here, the next thing we want is going to be @guide. And @guide is basically going to give it instructions, right? And what we want as the description here, the description is going to be the name of a country, right? What you're going to do is, I'm not going to show you the UI. The UI is pretty trivial to create, right? So we have the description, is the guide here is going to be the description of the name of the country, and then we're going to have the actual name, which is going to be of type string, right? So this is going to be create the name. This is going to be get the name of a country, right? Then after that, we're going to have the various options, right? I'm just going to copy the rest, right? So that we don't have to type all this, right? Come here. After that, we want that. And the next thing you're going to see with this in particular is that this this guide option has, we tell it to give it 4 options, right? So we tell us the count of the number that we want, right? So that, and then we put it in an array, right? So we have choices here, and choices are going to be, we want 4 choices, which is going to be the various options, right? And then we put them there, and then after that we have we tell it that we want the capital corresponding to the country that is given here, right? And that is going to be the answer. And then after that, we give it a brief sentence with a fact about the country, right? Half the time it's going to tell you a geographical fact about the country, right? So that's basically what you're going to do. And then we pass it into the content view and use it there, right? The rest of it is just trivial UI, showing it, looping through. The main thing here is to talk about Generable, the macro, and the guide to give it instructions, right? So if you do all that and you come back to content view, that is what passes it all. And for our session with the language model, we're just saying you are a high school geography teacher. That is the instruction that we're given it, right? So you're a high school geography teacher. So what we want to do is use that, and we loop through. And of course, we tell it to see if it's true, if it's correct, give it a tick. If it's not, give it an X, right? So let's run this and see how it works, basically, right? So give it a second. Well, you've already seen how it works, right? And let's see whether it starts with Japan again. It really likes Japan. We're big in Japan here, of course. Let's see. It's taking its sweet time. I think it knows it's being watched, right? So let me move myself to the side so that you can see it. And we said again, what's the capital city of Japan? Okay, let's go wrong. Let's say Nagoya. Okay, wrong. It tells you that the capital city of Japan is actually Tokyo. The correct answer is Tokyo is an island nation in East Asia, right? And after that, we ask it another question. The capital of Canada, let's say Vancouver. It's Ottawa. Let's go to the next one. Brazil, I'm guessing. Capital city of Germany, which is going to be Berlin. Let's go with Munich. Okay. Next one, what's the 4th country? Brazil is going to be, you see, the correct answer is not here, right? We have run into the problem again, right? The correct answer is not here. So let's say Salvador, the answer is Brasilia. It's not among the options. Go next. So it's not perfect, right? Maybe you could craft a better prompt that could make sure that it always hits the correct answer, right? The capital of Egypt is Cairo, but let's say Alexandria, and yeah, so and so on and so forth, right? With that little information, we don't have a bank of questions. We could have like essentially endlessly generated questions that can keep our user entertained, right? So that's how you would use, for example, foundation models, right? You can use the Generable and the guide to create structured content, right? Structured content that you can use in structs and then use in your app, right? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.